Hey, Pastor Josh here. We're reading Genesis chapter 26, verses 23 through 35, and we're continuing Isaac's little escapade with well digging and his problems with the Philistines. And so from there, he went up to Beersheba. If you remember, Beer means well, Sheba means seven. It can also mean oath. It's one of those homophones. Like red and red, like the color red in I read a book. They sound the same. They're spelled differently, but they sound the same. And so Beersheba, Sheba can also mean well Sheba can mean seven and oath. So the well of seven or the well of oath. If you remember here at Beersheba is where Abraham made an oath with the Philistines as well, and the way that they signified that oath is that there was 7 ewe lambs that Abraham let off, and so there was also a well there that Abraham dug, and so that was called the well of 7. Here it's going to be, the emphasis is going to be on the oath part, the well of the oath. Beersheba will also end up being a city. It becomes a city pretty soon, but when Israel is actually a nation, Beersheba is one of the southernmost parts of the nation. And so oftentimes in the Old Testament narratives, you will hear it said it was all the way from Dan to Beersheba. Dan would be the further north city. Beersheba would be the further south city. And so it would be like saying it was all the way from Maine to California, all over the place, or Maine to Florida, however you want to say it. It was the entire nation. So Beersheba there in the south, the well of 7 or the well of oath. And the Lord appeared to Isaac the same night and said, I am the God of Abraham your father. Fear not, for I am with you and will bless you. It's important he said the same night because what has just happened up here? Remember, he's tried to dig. He's dug a bunch of wells, and finally they found a well. The Philistines are not quarreling with him. He said, yes, the Lord has made room for us. Praise God. And then that very night, the God appeared to him again and says, I'm with you and will bless you. I'm going to take care of you. Don't worry. It's a great promise. God's going to take care of you too. Going to take care of me too. Not always in the way we want. I'm sure Isaac would have preferred not to have to redig all those wells, but the Lord did take care of them, and he says, I will bless you, and I will multiply your offspring for my servant Abraham's sake. And what did Isaac do in response to that? He built an altar. He worshiped the Lord. That is a great example for us to follow. Do you have a regular time of personal worship with the Lord? Do you build an altar with your quiet time? Do you build an altar there by putting your Bible in front of you, or perhaps it's your phone, or perhaps it's some journal that you write, and you put it right there on the kitchen table or the desk that you meet on? Perhaps it's in your lap while you're sitting in a recliner or in a chair, and you're just sitting there, and there's your altar, and you are experiencing a time with the Lord. You're worshiping the Lord and receiving from the Lord. So Isaac here builds an altar, called upon the name of the Lord, and pitched his tent there in Beersheba. And there, what did Isaac's servants do? They dug a well. That's what they do. That's what Isaac's known for, is digging wells. And when Abimelech, the king, went to him from Gerar with Ahuzath, his advisor, and Phicol, the commander of his army. It's the exact same kind of situation. We're at Beersheba. This happened with Abraham as well. Abimelech's a common name. In fact, Melech actually means king. In Hebrew, that word is king. And Abimelech would be, you've heard of Abba, Father, right? Apostle Paul uses that in the book of Romans. Means father, so my father is king. Abimelech. So this is apparently a very popular name, especially for kings. And so Abimelech, different Abimelech than what Abraham dealt with, came to him from Gerar, with Phicol, the commander of his army. And Isaac said to them, why have you come to me, seeing that you hate me and have sent me away from you? Now, we've seen Isaac being pretty pacifistic up to this point. But he's like, guys, I'm sick and tired of you. Why are you keep bothering me? Why are you coming to me? I've left you every time. I've finally built my own place, right? Just think what's going through Isaac's mind. I finally built my own well. It seems to be working just fine. Feels like the Lord has given me a place, and now here you are again. It was not even been a few days, and now you're here. And they said, we see plainly that the Lord has been with you. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So maybe things are going to change now with their relationship. We see God is with you. And they're using the divine name, Lord. They're using Yahweh. I am who I am. So they're claiming the actual name. They're not just using some generic form of God. They're saying the Lord, Yahweh, has been with you. So we said, let there be a sworn pact between us and between you, and let us make a covenant with you. Yes, the Lord's blessing you, so we want to be on your team. Let's link up. Let's make a truce. Let's sign papers. Let's get together. And we need to make this pact that you will do us no harm. You're not going to harm us. Well, he's not harmed them up to this point, just as we have not touched you and have not done to you nothing but good and have sent you away in peace. Don't think that's quite the case. I mean, they are right. No, they've not touched Isaac. No, they've not picked up a sword to try to hit him and kill him and run him out. No. But have they been nice to him? Have they done nothing but good? Nope. The narrative right beforehand doesn't say that. They filled up the wells with dirt. They have not been good to Isaac at all. And it's amazing how Isaac responds to it. How would you respond if somebody that did that to you came and said to you, oh, I've done nothing but good to you except fill up your wells and, make things difficult for you. Here's what he says. He says, so he made them a feast and they ate and drank. He didn't even say anything. He said, okay. He just ignored it. And there's this great power that we can have. I really think it's a superpower. If you're able to take criticism that is incorrect, invalid, or you're able to let somebody say something that's absolutely silly. They're just defending themselves. They've actually done wrong, but they're not in any sort of mentality to ask for forgiveness, or they just don't see what they've done. It's a superpower to be able to just be like, okay, I'm not going to deal with that. The book of Proverbs says it like this: do not answer a fool according to his folly. And so that's what Isaac is doing right now. The Philistines are being pretty foolish. They don't really understand what they are even saying. Perhaps they're out and out lying. Who knows? But Isaac does not answer them in accordance to their folly. He doesn't say, oh, yes, you have bothered me. You remember those wells you stopped up? Yeah, you've caused me a lot of problems. No. He actually then blesses them. Remember, Jesus said that, bless them that curse you and despitefully use you and abuse you. And I think that's what these guys were doing to Isaac. So he made them a feast. He blessed them, and they ate and they drank. And in the morning, they rose early and exchanged oaths. So he's saying, okay, I'm not going to harm you. Well, really, Isaac's really apparently already made this agreement because he's not hurt them up to this point. He's very wealthy. He probably has access to plenty of men that would be able to fight if he wanted to. So he's not that kind of guy anyway. So they're exchanging oaths. I'm not going to do anything bad to you. You're not going to do anything bad to us. Let's see if you really keep your end of it. And Isaac sent them on their way, and they departed from him in peace. Isn't that nice? Just peace is so good. And notice, I'm not quite sure if Isaac would have gotten that peace if he would have argued with the Philistines. If he would have said, no, you have been stopping up my wells. I don't know if they would have gotten that peace. If he wouldn't have just blessed them and said, yeah, sure, let's make this oath. I don't want to fight you anyway. Let's just be in peace. I don't know if they would have the peace. That same day, Isaac's servants came and told him about the well they had dug and said to him, we found water, yay! And he called it Sheba. There is the oath word right there. Therefore, the name of the city is Beersheba to this day. They found a well on the day they made an oath, and so they're calling it the well of the oath. Just like Abraham called it Beersheba, the well of the seven. Remember, it's a homophone. Sheba, spelled differently, but they sound the same. Sheba, oath, Sheba, seven as well. Now we come back to actually the main point of all of this. We come back to Jacob and Esau. We see that Isaac is extremely wealthy. Now he has two sons. What does Esau do? When Esau was 40 years old, the same time that Isaac got his wife, same time that Isaac got married, when Isaac was 40 years old and married Rebekah, Esau took Judith, the daughter of Beri the Hittite. Trouble. This is not from the godly line. This is from a non-godly line. So he, if we want to say temporary terms, he married a non-Christian. He married her to be his wife. And okay, so now he's not just having a non-Christian. He's not having somebody outside the covenant family of God, but he's actually having multiple wives. And Basemath, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, also a Hittite. And they made life bitter for Isaac and Rebekah. They are so bitter because of Esau's choice in this situation. Both Isaac and Rebekah. Remember, Isaac did love Esau more because he loved the game and the hunting that he made, but still in that situation, still made life so bitter for Isaac and Rebekah. And so we're going to see, even though Esau is doing his own work and really, really showing that he should not be heir to the promises and should not be within that godly patriarchal line because of his despising of his place and his birthright and his position, Jacob is still going to feel the need to maneuver, be deceptive, and just be just a rotten person, frankly. And Jacob is the story that we see of this great story of redemption, great story of transformation, because he really starts out just a real mean fella, and then he does turn. He turns in a powerful way. So looking forward to looking at that more in detail. Pray that's been a blessing to you. See you all in the next video.